Section 1.1, Part 1 of 2, Introduction to the Practice of Statistics. There will be two lesson objectives. Number 1, define statistics and statistical thinking. Number 2, explain the process of statistics. Lesson objective number 1. Why do we need statistics? This is a nice quote from the Chronicle of Higher Education. Statistical thinking supports decision making under conditions of uncertainty and an inescapable condition of modern life. This is something that we'll all be doing no matter what our job. Statistics is used in many careers. Here is just an example of a few. So what is statistics? Statistics is the science of collecting, organizing, summarizing, and analyzing information to draw conclusions or to answer questions. In addition, statistics is about providing a measure of confidence in any conclusion. The information referred to in this definition is data. Data describe characteristics of an individual. For example, in the student survey, your height, your age, how far you live away from Cincinnati State, all are examples of data. A key aspect of data is that it varies. Is everyone in our class the same height? No. Does everyone have the same hair color? No. So among individuals there's what we call variability. There's also variability amongst ourselves. Do we sleep the same number of hours each night? No. Do you eat the same number of calories a day? No. Does it take you the same amount of time to get to school? No. One goal of statistics is to describe and understand sources of variability. Here's 3 medical questions that can be answered with the aid of statistics. Does the regular use of aspirin reduce the incidence of heart attacks? Does the use of a handheld cell phone cause brain tumors? A low-carb diet versus a low-fat diet. Which is better for those wanting to lose weight? We will answer these in this class. Lesson objective number 2. We'll start with some definitions. The first one, population. Population is the entire group of individuals to be studied. A sample is a subset or part of the population that's being studied. And an individual is a person or object that is a member of the population being studied. So the smallest is an individual. Group of individuals make a sample, and a sample is part of population. Now, as we'll learn in this class, the best type of sample is a sample that is representative of the population. There's 2 branches of statistics. The first one is being descriptive statistics, and the second being inferential statistics. Descriptive statistics, as the name implies, it describes data from a sample. This is done by the use of tables, graphs, and what's called numerical summaries. A statistic is a numerical summary based upon a sample. So a statistic is a number that is measuring something from a sample. Now to keep this straight, this is the way I like to think about it. A statistic starts with an S, a sample starts with an S. So anything that's measuring something from a sample is a statistic. Inferential statistics uses methods to take results from a sample and then extend them to a population to make inference, in other words. And it also measures the reliability of the result. A parameter is a numerical summary of a population. So a parameter measures something about a population. And again, if we notice, population starts with a P, parameter starts with a P. So again, a parameter is some kind of measurement on a population. Let's look at an example. Suppose the percent of all students in your campus who have a job is 84.9%. Is that a parameter or a statistic? It is a parameter because it is a numerical summary of a population. We know it's a population because in the word here, all is the key word. Suppose a sample of 250 students is obtained, and from this sample we find that 86.3% have a job. Now, that is a statistic because it is measuring something about a sample. And again, we know it's a sample because it's told to us. Here's the 4 steps of the process of statistics. Number 1 is to identify the research objective, and normally this is what the researcher is trying to answer. The second step is we collect the data that is needed to answer the question in step 1. Normally this is done using a sample, as to use an entire population is very difficult and expensive. The third step is we describe the data. And we describe the data by either tables, graphs, and numerical summaries. And the last step, number 4, is to perform inference, where we take the results from the sample and we make inference for the population. Let's look at an example. You may need to pause. Okay, in this example, we saw all 4 steps in our statistical process. Step 1, the research objective was the researcher believes that males accused of hitting their female partners are less likely to do it after going through the 40-hour beaters treatment program as opposed to just doing 40 hours of community service. The question is does the battering treatment program help reduce the number of males who batter? Second step, we collected the data needed to answer the question. So they were selected into 2 groups. Group 1 received the treatment, that was the batterer program. Group 2 received 40 hours of community service, and that was the control group. 6 months after the program ended, the percent of males that hit their female partners was determined. Step number 3, organize and summarize the information. The demographical characteristics of the subjects in this experimental and control group were similar. So after 6 months, 21% of the males in the control group further battering incidences, while 10% of the males in the treatment group had further battering incidences. Step 4, we draw conclusions from the data. So we extend the results from this sample to all males who batter their female partner. That is, males who batter their female partner and participate in the batter treatment program are less likely to do it again. Thank you for watching.